on any ride, there's some basic troubleshooting tools that you should definitely carry. And especially, I'm not talking about long rides, but typically your weekend getaways, right? So what I carry is something I'm going to show you today. Some tools. These are a pair of gloves, right? So this is the screwdriver, and then there are different fittings here that you see. All these fittings, right? The flat heads and the star heads. Then you've got some, Allen heads, right? Different fittings. So this is definitely something that you should carry. It's a very compact and a very handy screwdriver. A plier is very important in your kit. Comes handy again. To pull out any nails or anything that must have gotten stuck into your tire or whatever. Right? You'll need a adjustable spanner. This is a 200 mm Stanley adjustable spanner. You can carry something smaller. You don't need a big one, but you definitely need something like an adjustable spanner, right? This is the puncture kit, right? So these are the shampoo sachets which you will put into this bottle with some water, and spray it onto the tire to see where the bubbles are coming from, to identify where the puncture is. And then this is a marker with which you will mark that area where the puncture is. This is a tool which also is there in the puncture kit. This is basically something that you'll use to kind of smoothen out the edges of the area of puncture, and then you'll use this to and the plugs here basically, which will go inside this, and then you'll use this to plug the puncture, right? You'll definitely also need a small kind of a cutter, right, to cut anything. And this is anyway handy. You need a cutter, a small knife or a cutter anyway in your toolkit, right? Basically, this is a puncture kit that you should definitely carry with you, right? There are these cable ties, good essentials. They weigh nothing, right? So they should be there in your different sizes. They should be definitely there in your carry-along toolkits. Some strap downs, just in case if you're riding in a group, there's a breakdown and you need to tow a bike or whatever. I don't know. I mean, you can use it in multiple ways. Some strap downs are, or just even a strap would help. So this is something that you can definitely carry. Now, if there is a puncture and you fix the puncture, you'll also need something which will help you inflate the tire, right? So tire inflators. Now there are different options available in the market. Here's something which I had. This is an Amazon Basics tire inflator or a compressor. It's a 150 psi compressor. I'll quickly show it to you. What's good about this I like is that you've got a flashlight and you've got a red strobe light which also gets beamed out of this. Okay, so you need a 12 volt, DC 12 volt is written. You need a 12 volt cigarette lighter socket in which this particular thing will sit in, and that's how it gets powered, and then you can start it and use it. So in cars it's not a problem. In cars, more or less most of the cars would have a cigarette lighter socket. On motorcycles you will not get a cigarette lighter socket, and for that what you need to do is, this is something that I have got. So it's a universal cigarette socket power outlet. I got it from a website called Bike and Biker, and it's a very good quality product, right? So I really like this product. So this is the cigarette lighter socket which will basically sit on your motorcycle somewhere, right? One thing that you need to be cautious about when you're mounting this is mount it in a place where there will be minimum invasion from any dust or water, right? Mainly water, because during monsoons and all, you don't want the water seeping into this lighter socket. Now it's again, this is a secondary cover for this rubber cover, which is pretty good, right? So this will prevent water from getting inside this. If water goes inside it, the problem is that this thing will rust, right? So this is a good socket. And this is how basically it connects, right? This is the air compressor thing which will go and connect, right? I'll show you in this video how I have mounted this onto my Ducati Desert X. It's a very good kind of a product, definitely recommended. But let's assume that you don't want to carry something which is this big with all this gadgetry. So the other thing that you can do is get yourself this small tool. Okay, now this is extremely handy. Recently I got to know about this. Somebody told me about this tool. This is a portable electric air compressor, right? And then basically it gets charged. You can charge this with a USB to C type kind of a cable, and see, this is what this basically gets into the tire. It's already, the PSI is set here at 35. You can increase or decrease the PSI, 36, 37 or whatever, decrease it to 35 and keep it 35. And if you press the center button, this is how you can fill air. The only challenge that I see with this is that it will take a lot of time, to fill the air. I've not used it. Some friends have, and they say typically it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for them to fill the tire to some decent PSI. But in any case, this is pretty handy if you don't want to carry such a big thing. I'll show you the cover. So this is something I ordered on Amazon again. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce this, Geomi or Mi portable electric air compressor, right? Type C charging port. It's a 2000 mAh built-in lithium battery. Pretty lightweight also. I mean, it's quite good. I'm pretty liking this. Right. This is something that you should carry. Anyway, so this is what I typically carry on my rides. Let's move on to the video where I will show you how I have fit this particular lighter onto my Ducati Desert X. Catch you all there. Bye. We are fitting the socket. I think this on the right hand side of the bike, just below the seat, is where there's a good space. Yeah. So it's fit and you can't even see where it is. So it's that clean. This is where it has been fit now. I think it's pretty flush, does not disturb anything on a motorcycle, and we are ready to go.